Let's talk about this show on Netflix called Sweet Tooth. It's based on a comic book series. It's about a post-apocalyptic world where a virus comes and wipes people out. And not sure if that is related, but then these little kids are born that are half animal, half human. Very Lion Witch in the Wardrobe with a mixture of like Curse, except a little bit less adult, and like iZombie, but not as witty. Just a few things I don't understand. Like, I understand this doctor has a major significance in the show. He's trying to find a cure or some sort of vaccine for the virus. His wife has it, and he's been living with her for several years, but has not contracted it. So you would think as a doctor, he would put two and two together and say, maybe I have some sort of antibodies myself that allows me not to get the virus. And because human beings are awful and they're so scared of these half animals, half human babies, they try to kill them off, but all the babies are being born that way. So if nobody's having babies and you're trying to kill off all the babies, you know humankind will no longer exist, right? Okay, we're talking about the show Sweet Tooth that just came out on Netflix. Is it worth a watch? Do you like shows about the apocalypse? Do you like shows about conspiracy theories? Do you like shows that are about fantasy, such like Cursed or Neverending Story? Did you like the show Heroes or iZombie? You might like this show if you like any of those. Overall, pretty good. I give it a solid like 8.5 out of 10. It's different from other apocalypse shows as we're dealing with kids and them dissecting kids and killing off kids. It's kind of morbid. Also, why does the apocalypse always revolve around a virus that is man-made in a lab and the government does a horrible job of managing that virus and causes fear and havoc to the point where we are trying to kill off kids? I mean, it kind of sounds familiar, but I digress. Also, the fact that it took them over 10 years to even think about finding a cure. Like, is this Abbott guy like the worst leader ever? Yes. Okay, let's put the conversation about Ronnie being contagious and not contagious aside for a moment. Can we talk about how morbid this Sweet Tooth series is? I mean, aren't you glad that they made it TV 14? Because just alone thinking about that, most of these kids are no bigger than 10 years old. A lot of them were abandoned as babies. Do you know a 2 or 3-year-old? Do you think that a 2 or 3-year-old kid can survive in the wild by themselves? I mean, let alone animals. Animal babies can't survive in the wild by themselves. I don't know if the series would be better if the kids were teenagers. So you thought that maybe there was a time where we accepted them and then they were being raised properly. But I just find it so hard to believe. It's just so sad. My dad was an orphan at 6. I could never imagine these little kids being, just abandoned as toddlers.